The Nintendo 3DS has been a very important console to me, and it brings me so much joy to add another console to the collection. Okay, this might be becoming a problem. My journey with the 3DS began in 2011 when I got my first Midnight Purple Nintendo 3DS. That 3DS has since taken some damage. He's no longer with us. My original 3DS has stopped working by the time the 2DS XL had been released, so it was a perfect opportunity for me to upgrade. It was also a great decision because people want to rob you blind for one of these things on eBay. A little over a year ago, 3DS modding started to get really big across the internet, and it's only getting more popular, so of course I had to indulge in mod one myself. I used to be kind of weird about modding consoles because I liked having my devices stock because I'm big into collecting things, as you can probably tell. I realized it doesn't matter even if I damage the resale value because I can never bring myself to sell my 3DS. So I modded it. Now I'm going to try and break this video down to a few categories: modding the console, homebrew apps, emulators, and lastly, homebrew games and ports. Now for modding the console, it's very simple by following a written guide. And to anyone who has heard about 3DS modding, I'm sure you're rolling your eyes right now because you know what I'm going to say. 3ds.hacks.guide. This website contains anything you could possibly need to know in order to get your console modded. Everything should come fairly easy if you follow the guide. I modded my Wii before I ever modded my first 3DS, and I will say, modding the Wii is easier, but you'll get hang of the ins and outs of the 3DS. Basically, what you'll be doing is tricking your system into installing a custom firmware called Luma 3DS, which will allow you to get everything that you'll see later in this video. When following the guide, you'll have these applications installed. Now let's just go down the list here. FBI will allow you to install CIA files, which may include 3DS games or other homebrew applications. Homebrew Launcher Loader just allows you to launch homebrew apps if they're not a CIA file. The CIA files will put a shortcut to the app directly on your home screen. Anemone 3DS is one of my favorites. How can people not pronounce this? Literally every video I see on 3DS modding, either people mispronounce it or give up and call it something else. Am I the dumb one? Or is the name of this app literally based on the plant in the sea? You know, like the one that Nemo lives in? Okay, I think I've calmed down. I lost my cool for a second there. Basically, Anemone allows you to install custom themes on your 3DS really easily. These themes can also have custom audio, so they can play anything. It's very simple. Just go to Theme Plaza and scan a theme's QR code with your 3DS and it downloads just like that. There's a huge community of theme makers out there, so it's pretty much there's a theme for everyone. You can even make your own. I'd recommend following a video tutorial on creating 3DS themes. In fact, that's how I learned. If you're interested in my themes, feel free to check them out here. These were pretty much all made a year ago, but some of them are still pretty good and hold up, I like to think. Checkpoint allows you to back up save files for the 3DS. Very straightforward. I think the best use for this app is if you want a fully digital library but you have cartridges with save files that you want to keep. Just pop your game in, back up the save file, then inject the save file into your digitally downloaded version of the game. FTPD is really nice because you can transfer files from your PC to your 3DS wirelessly. Now for me, I just went back and forth between my computer and my 3DS by ejecting the SD card and putting it back in. Now for the new 3DS and 3DS XL users, they don't have the same luxury. You see, Nintendo thought it was a good idea to put the SD card slot behind the back panel of those 3DS models, so you have to unscrew the console to access it. Meaning if you want to put more files from your PC to your 3DS, you have to go through way more of a hassle than any other models. Not fun. Universal Updater is incredibly helpful. It has a pretty big library of homebrew that you can download to your 3DS directly by just using Wi-Fi. But why is it called Universal Updater? Well, this app makes it very easy to update to the latest version of Luma 3DS without having to get files from your PC. Basically, makes the process a million times easier. God Mode 9. This is the last piece of homebrew that you should have installed from the start by following 3ds.hacks.guide. God Mode 9 allows you to rip game files directly from your game cartridge so that you can have your physical games digitally downloaded, making the console overall more portable, to be honest. Another nice thing that God Mode allows you to do is back up the NAND. Basically, this creates a backup file to save your 3DS in the event that you brick the console. So just keep this file somewhere safe on a hard drive, somewhere in your computer's file explorer. I don't really care. Another incredibly important app to install on your modded 3DS is HShop. For the sake of this video, I don't condone piracy, and you should only install games that you already physically own. Nintendo, please don't hurt me. I'm not even a legal adult yet. So if you haven't already guessed, HShop allows you to download any 3DS game straight off of your console. All you need is internet connection, 4 to 5 business days, and you have your very own legally downloaded 3DS games straight to your home screen. There's so many options for emulating games on the 3DS, but let's talk about emulators that the internet and I agree are the best for playing retro games. Virtua NES allows you to play, well, NES games. MGBA allows you to play Game Boy, Game Boy Color, and Game Boy Advance games, and SNES 9X allows you to play SNES games. Now you can also play these games by using an ejector tool, which will create CIA files for these games, putting them directly on your home screen. The 3DS can even play GBA games natively, which is impressive, I guess. To be honest, I never really cared about that as long as the game is running well on the device I'm playing it on. I've heard RetroArch is really not the best option for the 3DS. However, supposedly you can play some PS1 games using RetroArch. I tried doing this myself, but gave up because I was too lazy to figure it out. Now I'm sure this will only run well on new 3DS models. The old ones would probably blow up. Speaking of new 3DS models, they can even play N64 games using Daedalus X64. Not well, but they run. I'm sure this would blow up an old 3DS model as well. Mario 64 is seemingly fully playable. Smash 64 works with some audio problems. But N64 modding on the 3DS is just experimental, in all honesty. I had higher hopes when I originally heard about it, but it's really not all that. Another great mention is an emulator by the name of Red Viper. Red Viper is a Virtual Boy emulator for the 3DS. In case you wanted to give these games a try without having to use your life savings to buy one of these things on eBay, and selling your kidney to afford the games to go with the console, you can use this emulator to plug in ROMs and have fun. This emulator was very well put together, and it allows you to put the 3D gimmick of the 3DS into use. Now, if I haven't convinced you to mod your 3DS up until this point, this should be the silver lining, the ultimate reason to mod your console. CTGP7. This is a mod for Mario Kart 7 that is still getting updated and improved to this day. This mod adds new tracks as well as new characters. You can download your own custom characters and karts to the game, and you can play as those as well. I mean, hell, you can even be Garfield driving Lightning McQueen if you want. I'll link down in the description a good website to find these mods in case anyone's interested. Another great feature this mod adds is the online feature. Since Nintendo shut down 3DS online play capabilities, CTGP7 runs their own servers where you can connect online and race others from around the world. Tons of people are playing CTGP7 online daily, so you shouldn't have a problem finding a server to connect to. Another amazing game to check out is New Super Mario Bros. Sunset Shores. It uses assets from New Super Mario Bros. 2 and creates an entirely new game with custom levels. There's other examples of these to check out, such as New Super Mario Bros. Next, but Sunset Shores is the only one I've played personally. I wasn't really sure where to categorize this app, but I'm putting it in this section of the video. Twilight Menu Plus basically turns your 3DS into a DSi, allowing you to play GBA, Game Boy Color, NES, and the reason everyone downloads this app, Nintendo DS games. Now, the way I personally recommend playing DS ROMs on your 3DS is by using a DS ROM ejector tool to create a CIA file that will put the game shortcut on your home screen. Now, this will still require Twilight Menu to launch the games, so this is a very useful application. There's many other cool homebrew apps such as Wamiibo, which allows you to simulate amiibos from your games. Snicker Stream allows you to stream your 3DS directly to your PC, and Google Translate? Yeah, I couldn't think of a single situation where you'd need this. Let's talk ports. There's so many incredible ports such as Doom. Yes, it runs Doom. Moving on. Now, is it really a Nintendo system if it doesn't play Super Mario 64? This is a port of Mario 64 made into a CIA file for the Nintendo 3DS that has quite a few quality of life tweaks, I believe. It's been modified for 3DS controls and performs absolutely beautifully. Very impressive port. Sonic Media has a port. I'm not sure if anyone cares about this, but it exists. There's another few ports worth mentioning, such as Quake, impressively Half-Life, and Five Nights at Freddy's? Yes, this is a full-fledged port, and yes, it plays almost perfectly. Now, all of these 3DS ports should be easily obtainable by accessing them through either HShop or Universal Updater. If they aren't accessible in those apps, then you're going to have to transfer the files the hard way. Sorry about your luck. There's so many possibilities when it comes to 3DS Homebrew, and I know everything hasn't been covered in this video, but to cover absolutely everything would take way too long. I just wanted to share the amazing possibilities of 3DS Homebrew to hopefully teach someone something that they didn't already previously know. With that being said, hopefully you took something away from this video.